Hey guys, welcome to the MC Anime Podcast. We cover anime, geek culture, Japanese aesthetics, and Asian studies. We are a multi-fandom podcast, and you can expect to hear topics in your favorite hobby or fandom activity potentially. You can find MC Anime on Google Podcasts, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube. Also, please check out mcanimepodcast.com, our website. Furthermore, stay tuned in for another episode.
Welcome to another episode of MC Anime. MC here, and I'm back with Chemist today. How you doing, Kimmy?
Hey, hello everyone. Good evening.
So yes, Chemist came from the grave, and now he's back. And will he ever stay back? That's the question.
Yes, I'm done with school. I should have more free time now, Mr. McDonald's.
Yeah. Speaking of school, we're going to go on a subject to go back to school.
Yep.
So what we're doing for today's episode is the literary review of books. We're going to go over how to write a literary review, what's the importance of a review / report, and overall give the benefits of the review itself. So when you hear a book review, what do you hear of?
A book review?
Yeah.
Like, what do you mean, like, what I hear? I'm sorry. Kind of got
What
lost.
do you think of? What do you think of when you hear a book review?
Like, they could appear on, like, newspapers. If there's, like, a crime that happened, like, like in your town, literally the only way you want to find out what happened is you have to wait till it comes up, like, on the paper, right?
Yeah.
Unless you're like a detective or whatever, but that's what I pretty much know about it. It's like, if you just want to know something what happened, you just gotta wait till it comes up published in the paper, I guess.
True. And with, book review, typically you written evaluations of a recent published book in any genre. It's about 500 to 700 word mark, and it's like the main elements while praising the work's overall strengths and weaknesses.
Well, I was also in a book review, trying to think. For a book review, it could also be for potential buyers to buy that specific book, right?
Yeah.
I mean, what can you think of, like, websites that have, like, book reviews, like Amazon, eBay? No, I don't know about eBay, but maybe Amazon, right?
Goodreads, Amazon, different newspapers, book publishers all use book reviews just like similar to movie reviews. It's a quick analytical text to deepen your understanding of and the genres that belongs to the book. So let's say you do a book review about Harry Potter. Of course, you would do a book review related to the genre, fantasy, young adult, teenager, stuff like that. The Amazing World of Wizards. You might actually have other titles that you think of when you think of the plot of Harry Potter. So in your book review, you can compare one book to another, talk about the plot, talk about how you like it, and you give a deeper understanding to the audience reading it.
I see.
What, am I sounding like a teacher now?
I wouldn't say a teacher, maybe a bookworm.
A bookworm? What?
You don't get the joke, do you?
I know, I get the joke, but I don't read that much books.
Do you know? Really? I thought you would be the
Well,
type of...
I mean, I used to, yes, but I can read. I usually did like a 300, 400 page book in an entire weekend.
Oh.
But that's when I was literally at a flea market all day from like 7 to 8 hours per day.
Oh, I see. I didn't... Okay.
Oh,
Good to know.
yeah, and then you wake up at like 6 o'clock and be done by 7 o'clock to when you're unpacking, and then you have the entire day to read. And then you go home, you unpack, and then you have like another hour and a half, 2 hour ride to go home.
Well, to be fair, what kind of, was it a novel, or what kind of book was it?
Uh, let's see. I did the Book Thief, the Everlost series I read. I did the uh oh gosh, there's another one. Famous Famel, which is like I think the alchemist that turned gold from lead to gold, Alchemist Famel and stuff like that. And that was an entire series. I read that. And I just read other books. I read I read a early version of a dictionary. Not a dictionary, it's American Encyclopedia to
Really?
1930.
Huh.
Yeah. I mean, I did read that. It was kind of interesting.
Okay.
You know, I still enjoyed reading all the Divergent series I read. You know, I read those. So yeah, I mean, the Horizon series was pretty good. So I also like Everlost. Everlost was kind of interesting. You had like a penny, and I think it represented a wish, and you were like into this like limbo esque world where your body didn't mingle with the public, but you saw them pass by, and you had your own parallel world of what you used to be from the other world. And it's like spirits interacting with the real world or something like that.
Mm.
So, what's some of your books you've read?
When I was a kid, not really a kid. Well, okay, maybe like in elementary school. I know it was the most popular books would be like Harry Potter books, because like back then we had a system called AR, like I don't know, a Renaissance
Oh yeah,
reading.
you know
You're
how I
familiar
started
with
with
that, right?
that? Oh
Huh?
yeah, AR is an advanced system where you go in the educational system and read a bunch of books based on your scholarly level of in which point you're at reading books. Mine was
Yeah.
Nate the Great for AR. I remember that pretty vividly. I love Nate the Great, and that's what got me into reading.
Cause like yeah, fourth grade it was very huge for us, cause like all the kids were obsessed with getting like the most points so they can get like a free pizza party, or they're invited to a party or whatever. Whoever gets like the most points, really crazy. Like so that what would they do is because they found out that Harry Potter books gives the most points out of all the books in the library in the school. So all the kids would always go after the Harry Potter books, and they would just cheat and get free points, get the maximum points as they possibly can. Um, and so Harry Potter was another one. I didn't personally read the books, but I did watch all the movies. Like I kind of
Mhm.
like movies more.
Yeah,
And then
yeah. We skip the books, go to the movies. We get that story. Moving on.
well, yeah. Well, hold on. To be fair, I read the first Harry Potter, like the with the like the first one. I read the first novel at least.
Let's finish them.
What?
Let's finish them. Shoot, my brother's probably read that series 5 times.
I mean, I could, but I also did read Goosebumps. That was another, like R.L. Stein's. That was another big thing back in fourth grade. Like I read like halfway through Horrorland. That was one of the ones I read. Like I
Oh
actually own a
yeah,
collection of Horrorland.
Magic Treehouse. I remember that book too. The
Which
box is
one?
called Children. Magic Treehouse.
Oh, never heard of it.
What? Man, okay. I did like
Now,
those books. And then
hear
the
me out. Like,
Boxcar
huh?
Children is something I've read too. The Boxcar Children?
Well, when I was a kid, also the coconut tree, like the coconut tree book, like for nursery rhymes for kids. The coconut tree.
I guess. But
Okay.
yeah,
No. Um,
that's
I'm also
some
into
of,
like, if you also read my bio, I'm also into like comics, like Marvel comics. I read like comic books and stuff. Not sure if that counts, or anime manga books. Would you count those? My question to you is, Mick, would you count those as like book review for stuff or no?
I guess. Let's see. Anime and Fortnite. Those and artists. Whatever artist that's going to be.
What the? No,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
well, no, it's not there. But in my dueling book bio, it says I'm into Marvel comics. And you saw me; I had Marvel profile picture. So, like, yes, I am into Marvel
Yeah.
comics.
That's why you'll probably be, oh, Spider-Man Japan.
Oh, that's
Hooray.
right. That's right. That was great.
Anyway, with different book, the literary review process of books is pretty much a wide category. We have newspapers, magazines, academic journals. They provide a reader with the overview of the book, indicate whether or not the reviewers will recommend the book to the reader. So, most of these reviews are an opinion piece of the book, but it's to deepen your understanding. It's basically a longer version of a synopsis, but the synopsis is only really trying to get you into the book, where the review is actually an analysis of the.
Now
So,
we'll get into the topic of book report, right?
yes. So, well, let's see. Book review. What's the purpose? Well, book reviews have a regular appearance in every quality newspaper and many peer articles. They are important elements in whether or not a book will sell. So, basically, in the early version of colonial America, and so on in the 1800s, and book reviews is usually how people got the news about reading different books. So, book reviews back then were highly profitable. People read books, give their opinion, and newspapers will write about these experiences. And most of the people during this time, I mean, a white class will be looking at it, and book was expensive. But when books became commonplace, one way to narrow down your selection of books was with a book review. People writing articles about different books, to whatever it's for, educational, personal coming of age story, whatever the book was about. People wrote about it for specific purposes and specific reasons for whatever targeted audiences they did.
Um, Now the books you mentioned before, I remembered in eighth grade. Sorry, either sixth or eighth, like throughout middle school. Okay, I read like books like Tears of the Tiger. I'm not sure if you heard of that one.
Yeah.
And then like the other books as well. They were really interesting. I'm trying to think of
Oh, yeah.
another one. Wait. It was I'm trying. There's this book about like what was it called? Like it was about like greasers. Like it was a group of like kids who were like they were living a tough life. Does that sound familiar to you?
I have no idea.
Like no,
But,
it had these weird names. Like I forgot his name. But okay, yeah. But just I'm sorry to interrupt you, Mick. But that's just to bring it up. You know what I mean?
and then also another purpose is to persuade the buyers to buy the book. So, like custom reviews on Amazon. Goodreads is a good website for books specifically. As a result, the book reviews appearance in newspapers, journals, and digital media. has become less frequent, but it's still populated on sites like Amazon and Goodreads, where that is where those sites generate the traffic for the book reviews. So book reviews still exist, but it's in a more demographic audience on the internet more often or not. So it's not as widespread as in newspapers. I mean, yes, of course, New York, now it's in like publishers, like New York bestseller list and stuff like that. But that's typically where you'll find books now, like Barnes and Noble, go to your Target, go to Walmart, stuff like that. If that was on the shelves, big front one is Amazon. So, why should we write book reviews at all? Well, even if the heyday, few of the students who learn the craft of writing a book review must become literary critics. Basically, the student does not rely on their ability to impact the book sales. You basically get different skill set. So when you did a book review for school, what did you do? What was your approach?
I remember in elementary school once again. Fifth grade. I
Book
don't know
report
exactly,
was
but
a book review. You're
I'm
giving a
sorry.
preview of what the book was about.
Oh, so the teachers made us buy notebooks from like the little convenience store or whatever. Um, and like every morning, like the moment we start the class, we would have to write down a small summary of a book we recently read or what we saw in class. We would write the title of the book, and then what's it about, and then you just write down like a 5-10 cent like a paragraph summary of what the basically book is, and then at the end of the day, they look at your notebook and then they grade it. So that was pretty much it.
Okay. Book reviews do four things. You engage critically with the text. So you read the text, write a review about it. You critically evaluate a text. So you evaluate what the text is saying. You respond personally to a range of different writing genres. So, like, let's say you're responding to history, then you say, "Oh, I have appreciation for history. I really like how the Battle of Midway is portrayed on the Pacific Island, but it's not just the American side. We also got the Japanese side and how they were not willing to surrender until the last man standing narrative came into play. So there's different ways to respond personally with the different genre, the text itself, and you improve your own reading, your writing, and your thinking skills. So there you go. Now, not to be confused with a book report because the main difference. Book reports are detailed outline what occurs in a book. Will tend to give a composite amount of the characters, major plot lines, themes contained in the book. Book reports are boring. Book reviews tend to be undertaken by those of the younger age due to the need higher required in writing. So when you think about it, do you think of book report when you think of book review, or do you think of like a movie review?
Movie review. I say movie review would be quite very different. Like, why did you bring in the topic of the movie review?
Well, that's the closest visual to book reviews.
Oh well,
Movie
yeah.
review is the same purpose as a book review.
I think what you're trying to get at here is like I know they did make movies like based off of novels, like Diary of a Wimpy Kid, and the books I told you about, like Goosebumps. Like all those were actually made on like TV shows and movies, don't you think?
Yeah. Do you okay? What do you think is worse, a book report or a book review?
Uh, uh, I'd probably rather do a book review than a book report, honestly. I'm not really that good at writing.
There you go. Chemist sucks at writing. There you
Oh
go,
my!
everybody.
No. Like, I don't suck at. I mean, I hate.
Hashtag Chemist sucks at writing.
Like,
Boom.
I just don't feel like writing words. Okay, like my handwriting's weird. Like, I'm sorry.
You see, he's digging himself a bigger grave.
Uh,
As the pen danced around the paper, poor Kimmy over here broke the pencil before he could even start writing, and the words
Let-
could not dance on the paper any longer, for his hand now hurt with the pain of the snapping of the pencil.
Yes, I only use my
He
hands
got
to play.
so
I play cards,
angry
not
at
writing
writing,
words.
he broke the pencil, and now his hand is in pain.
No, it's not in pain. I'd rather use my hands to play cards, not writing letters and words.
Yeah. So, usually, the book review structure, we evaluate the book with a critical mind. Then we do the thoroughness. The whole is greater than the sum of all its parts. Review the book as a whole. Don't review only a specific chapter. Chapter reviews are different. Where appropriate, compare where appropriate to the similar text and genres. You have to give a thumbs up or give a thumbs down. You're going to have to recommend or reject the book. You have no point around it. You can't be in a middle ground, so you're for the book, but against the book. And you got to be consistent. You take a stance, you stick with it throughout your view. So let's take an example of structure real quick. Let's take an example. What text do you want to analyze? Just give me a random text.
A random text.
Yeah, well, give me a book title off the top of your head.
I guess the coconut tree.
Okay. All right. So, the coconut tree. What's
Yes.
the coconut tree about?
Huh?
What's the coconut tree about? Give me
It's
a
like,
book review about it.
oh shit. Oh, we're actually doing a book. Okay, so that's not a good one. Let me see. Okay, let me try to think of one by head then. Okay, how about Tears of the Tiger? Let's do that one.
Okay, go do it.
So Tears of the
You need
Tiger.
thoroughness. You need to compare it. Give them a thumbs down or a thumbs up, and then you need to be consistent. Go.
I mean, I give it a thumbs up.
Okay. What's Tears the Tiger about, and why should we read it?
It's about Tears of the Tiger about a young. It's like a young adult novel written by Sharon Draper, and let's see, and it was about this boy who died in a car accident, and he was like a really good basketball player in his school, and he was like really famous. He was like everyone in the school, everyone in the community loved him. Like you know, he helps out people like with advice or from bullying. Like he's a good. It was a good. He was like basically the perfect kid anybody can ask for. He had good grades, a good basketball player. But then he got killed by a drunk driver, and everybody was affected by it. So, and
Okay.
I say the book. I would recommend the book because there were times where like it did actually like I actually felt the sadness. I felt very emotional at some points in the book. I felt like I was there. It just I kind of like it made me cry a bit. Like so, I would recommend reading the book for sure.
Okay. Uh, does it compare? Like, does anything else come to mind when you compare it to another text of any sort, any
On
genre?
on top of my head, not really. No.
Okay. Eye of the Tiger. Defining for results.
Not Eye of the Tiger. It's Tears of a Tiger.
Or Tears of a Tiger.
Yes.
They go into struggles just like me and you, and as a result, you should read the book. For not only you get the point of view from their character, but you also get to analyze and familiar yourself with their struggles and how they're overcoming the obstacle of uncertainty and unknown. You should read the book for the simple fact it always provides twists and turns along the way where you don't know until you get there what you're going to find.
Okay, I see.
So, usually when we do a book review, there's three things to consider. You got past tense, you write a book, you have to read, you're writing about a book you already read. So, the character did this. The character was driving. The character had experiences of lost in the Tears of the Tiger. The character overcame those loss of loneliness and isolation. So stuff like that you need to do. You need to use, emotive language. Whether your stance or opinion is passionate, your audience will thank you for it. So the more passion you put into it, the more you can get out of the book review. And what do you think about putting emotion into a book review?
Let's see.
Negative or positive? The book was so bad because the characters are so drawn out. The plot literally starts with the main protagonist just simping for every single female in the roster. You don't really get to see a core set of characters because the plot just takes and just vomits and ruffles up the feathers along the way. I will not recommend this book for the simple fact that the plot doesn't stay together. The genre of harem is not really good, and I would say that the main character is a complete moron, doofus, and idiot all in one body. If you can sum it up, he is the epitome of what a bad character represents. So do not read this book.
Okay.
What do you think of that? The top of my head.
Depends on what book you're talking about.
I'm not talking about a particular book. I'm just saying random stuff and making it cohesive.
Okay.
But yeah, you have to put emotion in about it. If you're passionate about it being bad, show that passion about why it's bad. If it's good, show that passion side. Just eat into it. Give it energy. And your voice. It's best to be both active and passive when you use in recounting your experience with the book and the book review.
Right.
So, was there any elements of a book review that you didn't like or felt like it was too easy?
Maybe there are some parts of the book that was too easy. I mean, this was like years ago, so I can't remember exactly on top of my head.
So you never felt like, maybe this is not me, or maybe. Imagine getting paid for a 500 to 700 word blob about a book review, and that how many people you got to read that to sell a book is really how you made money.
Mm-hmm.
You think you'd be pretty good at that?
Probably. I mean, well, hear me out. To be fair, if I were to maybe if I took like the time, like invested the time in it, then yes, I think I would be good at it.
I see. Here we go. Chemist thinks he's gonna be a book review critic. Let's see how he does.
Yes. All right.
All right. So we do the elements of a book review. You have the title. The title of the book will correspond to the title of the text itself. So, you can do an examination of the title's relevance. How does it fit in the purpose of the whole? Convey a message, larger themes within the work, stuff like that. You also want to state who's the author. There might be a discussion who is the author, what they have written before, if it relates to the current work being reviewed. See, author's kind of interesting. You ever had like one book you read from one author and then read another book from the same author?
No, I don't recall.
You never did that before.
I
You
don't
really like
remember. No, I really don't.
you really like this book, and you checked it. You never looked up the author.
I guess not.
Wow, wow, Kimmy, wow. You're a disappointment to all book fans out there.
Oh my goodness. I don't know what you want from me, bro.
Oh well. We usually have the genre. Book review, identify the genre that belongs to. Fiction, non-fiction, poetry. What's your favorite genre, Kimmy?
What do you mean by genre?
What's your favorite genre of book? What did you like reading the most?
I mean, I told you I like comics. I guess Marvel. I mean, does that even count or no?
It does.
And
It's
yeah, Marvel
yeah.
comics is an interest.
Yeah, it's off the what's it called? Uh picture type book. It's called a picture book.
Mm-hmm.
But you like, you know, reading a full. Basically, what you're doing is a story about captions and experiences of the character in caption. That's basically what a comic is. The simple version. It tells a story, but it tells a story, lots of illustrations and wood bubbles. That's how it does in the medium. You have the book jacket or cover, will contain artwork, it may contain interesting details, the structure, how the book is organized, provided to the random review, free face from the guest, written in sections, chapters, stuff like that, whatever. Then we have the publisher and the price of the book. So, did you ever have to quote a book review when you wrote it?
Not to my knowledge, no.
You know how to cite it, where you found the information, you had to give credit to the author, the title, stuff like that, who published it, anything like that.
Not to my knowledge.
So you never actually had a book review assignment, and they asked, pick an author, pick a book, and you basically go from there. They never said that? Give a book title and give the author?
Oh, well, actually, no, they do. Now I'm getting familiar with it, yeah.
Oh, boy. Let me
I
over
told
here.
I told you it was years ago.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, you write the publisher and the price with a book review. You contain detail who published the book and its cost. A review will often provide details where the book is available as well. It's basically its incentives like, oh, you should read this book. You should go to this website to find where to find it to read it. It's basically like, where should you watch your favorite show if I'm an advocate for the show, basically.
Okay.
But when you do a book review, you need to think, what is the story about? Who are the main characters? Were they credible? What did they do? What challenges did they face? Who was the favorite character and why? Connect to them. Could you relate to any of the characters? You said that. What did you have you ever felt some of the things the characters did? Evaluate. Did you like the book? What's your favorite part? And recommend. All right. So when we do think, connect, evaluate, recommend. Here we go. Give me another book, and I'll give you my spin on it with this concept.
Okay. Let's think of a book. Let's try. Trying to think. Okay. Let's. Right. I know it's a bit off topic. Let's try the Secret Santa surprise.
Okay. Secret Santa surprise. Well, hmm. Well, what I'm thinking is the Secret Santa surprise. I don't think it's a good surprise. I think Santa has a lot to wait for before he finds out what it is. The connection. Well, I do relate to Santa. I feel bad if the surprise is like jumping out of a box, jump scare, falling off the roof, or even going upside down and doing other things. Or coal, that could be a nice surprise. Instead of Santa giving coal, he's receiving coal. So there you go. I would think that maybe the surprise caught Santa so off guard that it was the favorite part of the story. It had turns and twists that you didn't really expect. Recommend. I guess I recommend Secret Santa Surprise because here's why. The surprise at the end is really well worth it for those who wanted to see what it's about and how it came to be. So there you go, folks.
Yay! Good job.
What's it actually about, anyway?
I don't know. I just thought of a random book.
Wait, you thought of a random book but didn't know what it's about?
No, I just cover the book look interesting.
Is that actually a book?
Well, hear me out. Hear me out. Like, you ever heard of the term of like, don't judge books, like don't judge a person by a book of its cover?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's something like that. So maybe it was my fault. I should have not judged.
Santa Secret Surprise. Oh, Santa's Secret Surprise, Book 29, Kindred Tales series. Oh gosh. Okay, never mind. Moving on. Let's see. Book review key elements. We have the characters, we have the themes, the style, the plot. Those four things sell the book. What do you like about characters in a book?
I guess their personality.
Okay. Elaborate.
Like I gotta know well it's kind of hard to explain it. I would feel in the same the same how the writer or like the character, how they feel basically. I gotta know like their perspective and like I don't know, something. It's kind of hard to explain. Like, do you kind of get what I'm saying?
Yes, you need to have their feeling. You need character development. That's what you're asking. You need character development. So you need them to be developed as a character. Who are they? Where do they come from? Are they empathetic? Are they cold? Are they secondary? What are the motivations? Stuff like that. Themes. So when you think of themes, what's important in a theme?
We're in a theme.
Yeah. The main idea.
Oh, main idea. For which book are we talking about now?
In general. Just a main idea of books in general.
Like a good plot, like like the maybe like a plot story, or not even like a plot story, maybe like I don't know, like yeah, pilot scene, like like a pilot scene, like a pilot book. I'm trying. It's kind of really hard to. I don't know. Like you kind of get what I'm trying to say here.
I mean, main idea is usually love conquers all. Friendship beyond time. Uh, Chivalry is not always necessary. Learn how to do your do's and don'ts. Stuff like that. It's a central
Yeah.
message in any book. It's like, the recurring motifs. Is it explorations of the, the themes deep or on the surface level? If you do Pokemon, are you examining the PETA and how pocket monsters are basically being used for in dog game fighting, stuff like that? Are they really doing that, or is it just on the surface level, stuff like that? The style. What do you think of style? The key aspects of the writer's style. How does it fit into the wider world of the literature?
Like to grab the.
The style is usually how it's written. So it's written in a Gothic style. It's written in cursive. It has a first person perspective. Stuff like that.
um. Wait.
Like let's say a book, Coconut. The style of Coconut would probably be geared to a younger audience, so fewer words, more pictures, more rhyming schemes, stuff like that. More play on words, stuff. You know what I mean. Dr. Seuss is a style.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm trying to get at. Like that's what I'm trying to say. Like, yes, that's what I'm. That's what I was trying to like imply. Like with Dr. Seuss and like, what was I'm sorry. Like, what was their name of the who created Dr. Seuss? Can you remind me who?
Oh gosh, I don't remember his name. Dr. Seuss is just a pen name.
I mean, it's also good classics like the Horton Hears Who and Green Eggs and Ham. That's good, I guess.
Yeah, and then we get to the plot. Who's the story's main catalyst? What happens in the rising action? What is the sub story's subplot? You know, as the hero goes on the journey, what does he encounter along the way before he gets to his final destination? Does he have obstacles? Does he have the campaign to free the princess, to capture the dragon? Before he does that, he has to go back and say, I object to the wedding. Get what I'm referring to?
Uh,
That was
like,
Shrek. Come on.
um,
I object.
what?
I object. Go and rescue the princess in the tower, fight the dragon, and then go back to the prince.
Yeah,
Whatever. That's a plot, dude.
that's what I was trying to get at. Oh my goodness, like, forgive me.
Oh. So, but that's typically the characters. Who are they? The theme, the main idea. how the author writes it, the style and the plot are really important things to consider.
Uh-huh.
You begin with a short summary of the book. However, it's important not to give too much away. Mind there's no spoilers. It's a sum of the main arguments of the work, again, without giving too much detail. Work of fiction will be often summarized up to the rising action of the piece without giving beyond too much. So, give me... Okay, let's see. You want to hear my book review? Book?
Yes, I would like to.
Let's see. Let's do the book thief. It's about a... Takes place in Germany, World War II, and commonplace is book burning. Well, typically these families that live in these towns, they're a Jewish family, so they have a star of the Jews to represent who they are. Well, in the public book burning, we have the main person during raids would read the book and read it out to people. And she would read different books and different raids, and you see, her quest for knowledge, how she came into the possession of the book, how she got the book, the journey to find the book, and then how she read the book, and then she did reviews on the book. It is a really interesting story because it provides insight into World War II Germany, but it also gives an insight how sacred knowledge is and the power of it preserving it, even in the fate of danger. When the book is about to be burned, or, you could be arrested just for stealing the book or having the book, is perseverance of the character trying to basically preserve the book in its quality, and that knowledge should be kept in text form. So that's my review of The Book Thief. So, what do you think people have to gain from a book review?
Look, the game.
What do they have to gain? What do you think they give?
Oh, like it gives like perspective knowledge of the reader, I guess, or the author.
Yeah.
Uh, huh?
Yeah, it gives perspective. It, allows the reader to connect with the book. What is one thing you like about book reviews specifically?
Repeat your question. You might cut out.
What do you like about book reviews?
Yeah. I say it gives like it gives like good. Like, it could either give good or bad positive.
Okay.
Feedback.
Okay. So if someone came up to you right now, they wrote a review. Let's just say this: you want to read a book, and you start reading all these book reviews. Find this one particular book review that sells you on the book. What type of review has to sell you to read a book? Which genre do you like to read? What type of story do you like? Stuff like that.
Oh, okay. Got sidetracked for a minute. So I like action. Like action books are like drama and love and like yes, like that's what I told you basically.
Okay, have you ever heard of the book Where the Red Fern Grows?
Nope.
Ugh. Old Yeller?
I heard of the term, but not of the book.
Uh, okay. Let's say. Oh, Adventures of Huckleberry Finn. You never heard of Huckleberry Finn? Tom Sawyer?
Yeah, I heard of that.
Oh, of course you heard of that. Oh, Fault in Our Stars. Do you like that book?
Which one?
By John Fault in Our Stars by John Green.
Nope, I don't heard of that one either.
Oh my gosh. Divergent?
Hmm?
Divergent? The Hunger Games?
Yeah, oh, I heard of Percy Jackson too.
Oh, come on. There you go, everybody. Chemist hates books. He already said it. He can't write.
What did I
He
say?
can't read either.
Wait. I told you to read my bio. I'm into Marvel comics. Where did I say that I hated books?
I didn't read your bio. The bio ain't on my screen.
You really read my bio out loud on stream.
I read a Discord bio. I didn't read no
Oh, you didn't read my.
Marvel.
Oh, you didn't read
See,
my dually. It's on my
yeah,
dual. If you go to my dually book,
yeah.
I can't make room on my Discord bio.
Yeah. Well, with Chemist, he can't read a book to save his life. We already know.
What
He
are you
needs
talking about? What?
his sight with being having 4 eyes. He needs extra large pictures, extra large captions just to read the book. It has to be in one entire page. I went to the store with my brother on Valentine's Day to pick up flowers. Next page. We picked up flowers for Mom to give for Valentine's Day. We wanted to surprise her because Dad is not in the picture. So as a result, we want to give her appreciation when she doesn't have her Valentine's with her.
That
They're not even
sounded
comfortable.
that sounded that sounded very sad.
Oh gosh. Sometimes my tangents where I go on it's like actually has a beginning and an ending. Uh but like I said, Chemist doesn't like Valentine's Day because it reminds him of books.
What are you on about? I don't like I'll tell you the real reason why I don't like Valentine's Day because
Please,
I don't have a
yeah,
girlfriend. Okay, there, I don't have a girlfriend.
no, no chocolate for you, no Valentine heart, nothing.
I don't even
And
like
all
candy.
because of reading, because you read one book and you don't have it anymore.
What are you talking about? You're valid because I do like books. 2, I don't like chocolate. And 3, I don't like Valentine's Day because I don't like what is love. To be honest, I don't have a girlfriend, so I don't really want for me.
Exactly. He's just the type to say, oh, well, if I can experience love, I'll just read about love. All sappiness.
Where's the fun in that? Like, why would you read about love?
You just said you read about books about love and romance and everything else.
No. That was like I actually mentioned action
Mm-hmm.
and like drama. Like,
You got caught and you don't want to admit it.
I mean, name another character that's into that. Then, huh? Are you?
What?
Yeah, you know. Let's ask about you. What are your interests in books, huh? Like, what's your favorite genre?
Uh, actually, I like the mystery, science fiction element. Fantasy can be in a play. Romance story's not terrible. It has to be like a right. I did like Lovely Bones, even though that was like creepy. kidnapping way. I don't know. I like police drama. I'm all over the place. History books, picture of war. I don't know. I'm all over the place. So let's see. When you do a book organizer, when you graphic, you do the introduction, a brief synopsis. You see the tone, reviewing your opening sentence and your introduction. Then you have the body. Did you like the book? If so, why? Why not? Can you plate this to any other text? Can you compare it? Is the Harry Potter series like SAO or any other wizard type like Academia Witch? Who knows? Key points of the message from the book, who this book might appeal to, and what we'll be recommending to others.
Mm-hmm.
So, with all book review, what do you think you gain out from the most by doing a book review?
What I gain most?
Yeah.
What do you mean by that? I'm sorry.
Mm. So, summing it all up, the literary review of books, what is the audience taking from all of it?
I guess like I told you before, it's like the perspective of the view, like the reader. Like instead of you, like reader, and like the reader's perspective on what the book is like for them.
Okay. My way to sum it up, the book review is basically analytical text that understands the deepening loading curve of what the text is referring to. It's recommending the book to you, either in a positive or negative way, and it's showing other types of books in the genre to maybe branch out to explore other types of writing and read other mediums that might be similar. It shows a community of people that read it to read the book or not read the book. As simple as that. So, as we close up this episode, we concluded that chemists is bad at writing, bad at reading, and especially a love fanatic who loves love stories. If that sums you up pretty much?
No, not at all.
So I'm not seeing the bigger picture? Am I only giving a book review of chemists right now?
What, I have a book about me now?
I don't know. Did I not sum you up in a nutshell?
No, it did not.
So I need to provide more information. So that means my body paragraph after I introduce the idea needs to have more juice. Chemists, I need to compare to other people who are just shut-ins and sit in their homes and never leave the house. There you go. And then let's see, where I'd give a recommend or a thumbs down. I give a thumbs down because you don't want to be like chemists when you grow up, people. If you be like him, you ain't gonna eat your spinach like Popeye in the commercials.
Okay.
So, folks near you, read books as much as you can. Books are a simple joy that needs to be back into the limelight because you know what? Reading is important, and you have so many different areas to read books now. You can listen to an audio, CD, video, YouTube, books near you. Would you say that, chemist?
I guess.
Unlucky. But yeah, this concludes a little review of books, and you can see this on anywhere you can see podcasts near you at Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music, Spotify, iHeartRadio. Support us on the mcanimepodcast.com, and more importantly, be with us on the Patreon community at MC Animators, where you can do original polls, topic updates for different series, podcast episodes, special guests, and more. So come on, join, and be part of the process, guys. Thank you, and enjoy your day. Bye.
This concludes another episode of MC Anime Podcast. MC Anime Podcast is available on podcast directories like Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and YouTube. We also have our website at mcanimepodcast.com. If you want to directly support us, then follow Patreon blog MC Anime. Finally, if you want services for hire, then we're available on Fiverr for audio and video production, graphic design, idea consulting, and blog and article writing.